Alright, what's going on everyone? Today we're opening Kaldheim boosters. Well, kind of. I opened these the day they were released and I was too excited to wait, so I turned my screen recorder on, and now I'm going to talk about the Magic Arena economy while opening packs. I want to talk about a few things actually. So first off, if you watched some of my recent videos like last month, my mono black devotion video, my mono green stompy video, even my Magic Online, like my return to it when I opened it for the first time. If you watch those videos, I complained a lot about Magic Arena and its economy, and I feel like I don't want that to be misinterpreted. I just want to talk about the economy and kind of explain what I was talking about, because I was talking about that stuff during gameplay and not really like thinking about it too in depth. I was just kind of rambling a bit while playing. So I just want to kind of flush out my thoughts on this. You can listen or not, I don't really care. This is like a podcast style video today. But so here's the thing, right? I think Magic Arena is amazing for a very specific type of player, and that is someone who wants to get better at Magic from a competitive perspective. And the reason I say that is because it is one of the most accessible forms of Magic in existence. And I know that's crazy to think about, because everybody likes to complain about the economy. Everyone likes to complain about how expensive it is, and that's perfectly reasonable. But here's the thing: you can build tier 1 competitive decks on Magic Arena without spending money. You can do that 100% free to play. You can build competitive decks. That's not possible anywhere else. It just isn't. You cannot build a tier 1 deck in paper. I mean, you can proxy it, but you can't play it at Friday Night Magic without risking getting banned. You can't do it on Magic Online without either, you have to pay for the cards or you have to pay for like a rental service. It's expensive, and Magic Arena allows people to build tier 1 decks for free and grind competitive matches, and I think that's very, very good. I know people say like it's pay to win, and it is. I know people say that it's, too microtransaction-y compared to other games, and it is. But the fact that you can build any tier 1 deck with some time, you have to spend some time on it, but you can eventually, and you can't do that anywhere else for free anyway, is amazing. So I do think that's very, very useful, and I think that's kind of underappreciated, and I think that's very, very valuable. So I think there is, a very good aspect of Magic Arena that people just don't give it credit for. Now, with that said, the problem with Magic Arena is that very same problem. Because every single person has access to tier 1 decks, which is great, it also makes playing Magic Arena feel very stale very fast, because everybody's playing the same, 5 to 10 decks. And also Magic Arena is just very focused on winning. You have to win. You have to win. You have to play a tier 1 deck and you have to win. If you pay for the Mastery Pass and you need weekly wins to finish it, you're very driven to win. You have daily wins. It's win, 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 win. And play competitive decks and win. Play competitive decks and win. You have to win. You always have to win. And because of that, I find that it's very, I don't want to say tilting. I don't think it's tilting. It's very easy to just be like, man, I don't want to play Magic because of this. I don't, it's easy to just feel like you're being ground out, right? It's the grind can feel like it makes Magic not fun, because you're only focused on, am I winning or am I not? If I'm not winning, then I'm not making progress, right? Because winning is progress in Magic Arena. You have to win to rank up. You have to win to get your weekly win experience, right? You have to win to get your daily win rewards. Like, it's very driven by win, 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 win. You have to win. You can't lose. Every time you lose, you're losing value in a sense, because you're losing time. Like, that mentality, the aspect of it just makes it feel very draining. I don't feel that way playing at Friday Night Magic. I don't feel that way playing on Magic Online. I don't feel that way playing ever. Like, Magic is just fun to play until I get on Arena, and if I spend, 20 minutes in a match and then losing, it's like, well, that 20 minutes is just gone. It's wasted. And I don't feel that way in paper, right? I don't feel that way on Magic Online. Even if I do lose a game like that, like, it doesn't matter because I'm just playing to play. But because my mentality on Magic Arena shifts, because the time that I'm spending on there, I'm spending trying to get my daily wins, trying to get my weekly wins. The mentality is I have to win, otherwise I'm wasting my time. It means that, getting locked up in a long game just feels like it's a waste. It feels like it doesn't feel good, right? Because I'm just there to win, to get my rewards, right? Or to rank up. And that sort of like mental state, along with the fact that you can't really play decks that you want to play, you have to play meta decks, just makes playing Magic Arena over the long term kind of miserable, I find. Just because sometimes I don't like the meta decks. There's no meta deck that I really liked. When Guilds of Ravnica was out, I loved the Cat Combo and Mayhem Devil decks. I played those all the time. I actively loved playing Magic Arena constantly because there was a meta deck that was just like a meta deck for me that I really loved. Right now, none of the meta decks really speak to me. None of them, I mean, I've played Mono Red Aggro a little, I played Mono Green Stompy a little, but like none of the meta decks right now, none of the decks that are top tier decks really interest me. And because none of the meta decks really like speak to me right now, and also because you can't play casual decks without getting run over by meta decks, makes it really unfun to play. Like I haven't been enjoying Arena since Guilds of Ravnica rotated out, I think. Since Zendikar Rising released, I've been really just like not interested in Arena at all. Historic is okay, because there is a deck that I really love in Historic, that's Rakdos Arcanist. The Rakdos Arcanist deck is great, but beyond that, like Standard right now, it just doesn't interest me. But because I have to log in and I have to win to get value out of the Mastery Pass that I paid for, it just makes it feel like I'm forcing myself to play Magic Arena just for rewards, and every minute that I spend playing the platform, it's just kind of miserable. So that's sort of the issue, right? It's the Magic Arena economy is so driven by, you know, build a tier 1 deck and win with it. It just makes it a little bit less fun. I just want to play like fun, silly decks, and it's so hard to do that on Arena. It's really hard. It is possible. You can play janky decks. You can play them in the unranked room. You still get your rewards for that. That's fine. But like, man, I don't know. It never feels good. Because even in the unranked room, even in the, what's it called? Is it unranked? The open play? No, the unranked. Whatever the unranked room is, the room without ranks. It's still like, it's still very populated by the meta decks. So it's like, I don't know. I just wish there was a way to encourage brewing on Arena. I don't think it's ever gonna happen. It's just because the decks are too accessible. It's too easy to get tier 1 decks, which is a good thing. Again, I say it's too easy to get tier 1 decks, like it should be harder. I don't think it should be harder. I think it's very valuable that exists. It's just that it makes it hard for someone like me who just wants to kind of brew fun, silly decks and still, you know, like finish their Mastery Pass reward that they paid for. They could fix it, by the way. One way they could fix it, it's very possible, is that instead of having daily wins and weekly wins, they could just have play games and double the number, right? So like, instead of having 15 weekly wins and getting 250 XP for each level, instead have 30 weekly games and then give 125 XP per level. It's the same thing, right? Because 15 wins will usually take 30 games on average. You're going to win a game, going to lose a game, going to win a game, going to lose a game, right? Like you're going to go 50% most of the time. So going from 15 wins to 30 games doesn't actually change anything, because 15 wins is probably going to take you 30 games on average, but you get rewarded every single time you play, even if you don't win. So it kind of like would enable me to just, you know, play a dumb deck that's stupid. And if I go, you know, 2 and 5 or whatever, I don't feel like I wasted my time, right? Because if I build like a stupid casual deck and I go 2 and 5 and the 2 games I win, I'm just laughing my ass off, right? Like I win 2 games and I'm like, oh my god, the deck's dumb. Then I lose 5 and it's like, all right, whatever, we'll win another one eventually because this deck's fun. I still get 7 weekly games played out of my 30, whereas currently I would get 2 out of 15, which is actually not that far off from being like the same ratio, right? But it would just feel better. It would mean that every single game I play, I'm making progress. And I know this is just like it's such a silly psychological thing. It doesn't really matter. It's not that big of a deal, but like it would just make Magic Arena, like it would give me the opportunity to play for fun without feeling like I need to, you know, spend my time playing my tier 1 deck to grind my weekly wins. Because where I'm at right now, by the way, I don't play Magic Arena that much. I've been playing like every other day, maybe every 3 days. I basically log in. I force myself to log in when I know my daily quests are at 3. Like if I know I'm losing value by not getting that daily quest, I'll force myself to open, you know, like every 3 days. And then while I'm there, I only play tier 1 decks to grind my weekly wins while I'm getting my quest. Like I will reroll my quests to try to get them to line up with the colors of my tier 1 decks, which are mono red or mono green. or I know I have other stuff too. I have some other sort of half-completed decks and stuff, but I try to re-roll them to get 750 gold and have the colors line up with my tier 1 decks, and then I grind my tier 1 decks until all my quests are done, and I hope that in doing that, 2 or 3 times a week, that I'll also get my weekly wins done. And if I don't, I'll do a draft or something, because I do still like drafting and stuff. So that's where I'm at right now. It's kind of funny. I'm forcing myself to play just to get my weekly wins and stuff, and while doing so, I 100% of the time play tier 1 decks. Whereas if I was instead getting the same rewards at the same pace, but just getting them for playing instead of for winning, I might log in and say, all right, I want to play this dumb deck. It's not good, but I have 30 games I need to play, so I'll play like this silly deck, get my rewards. And if I'm doing that, right, if I do that, then there might be other people doing that. And if other people are doing that, then the metagame will be more centered around brewing. So simply by changing the weekly wins from 15 wins to 30 games played, again, you'll get that at the exact same rate on average, but it could encourage people to step away from the tier 1 meta decks, right? Because I definitely would. If that was the case, if I didn't have to win to get those weekly wins and to get those daily wins, then maybe I just play something silly. Because why not? I'm going to get the rewards at the same pace, but I'm not being forced to win with tier 1 decks, right? I can play a silly deck for 30 games, or I can play a tier 1 deck for 30 games. Same thing either way. It's just, since I'm not being forced to win, I can kind of just play around with something silly. So I actually think that would be very helpful. I think the way to fix the Magic Arena metagame sort of is to move away from encouraging people to win and just encouraging people to play. And obviously you need to double the number because people win 50% of their games. So if you're encouraging people to win 15 times per week, then you need to encourage them to play 30 times per week, which is about the same. But doing that would be, in my opinion, very healthy for the metagame. For the entire Magic Arena platform, is just to not try to pigeonhole people into win. Obviously, people are still going to play ranked and try to win. People are always going to be motivated. I'm still motivated to win. I still want to win with some stupid jank deck. It's just that if there is a higher percentage of players who are willing to play jank because it doesn't matter if they win or lose, then you're going to have a higher percentage of brewed decks in the metagame. Whereas right now, pretty much everyone is pigeonholed into playing meta decks so they can get their weekly wins and stuff. And I actually think it'd just be much healthier to remove the weekly wins. Not remove that reward, but to change it from weekly wins to just weekly games played. So I don't know, I think that would be very helpful. But yeah, I got totally off topic. I was going to talk about the economy and started really just talking about the problem with the metagame. But that's sort of what I've been thinking recently. That's why I've been so kind of again, if you watch the Mono Black Devotion or the Mono Green Stompy decks, the gameplay videos of those decks, I kind of complained a lot, and that's generally been my mental state around Magic Arena. Is just I haven't been interested in playing it because I don't like the meta decks right now. It's not that I think the meta decks are unhealthy or unfun to play against. I think they're fine. I think all the meta decks right now are actually very balanced and good and fun. It's just that none of them really make me want to play Magic. So because I don't have a meta deck to play, I just don't really feel like playing Magic Arena because it's so driven by wins and it's so driven by meta play, which is fine. Again, I talked about that at the beginning of the video. Totally fine. I think that's actually a very good thing. I would never want to change anything on Arena that would take that away. I love that you can play tier 1 decks on Arena for free, and I love that people can grind experience playing competitive Magic for free on Arena. I would never want to change anything to remove that because I think that's a very good thing. I just think that they could definitely incentivize people to play for fun. That's what they need to do. And they can just do that by changing the daily wins and weekly wins to games played, in my opinion. So, I don't know, guys. That's just been how I've been feeling about Arena. How did you like this Kaldheim booster? It looks fun. So, there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to this ramble. I'll see you in the next one.